Laura Knuessberg's television programme this morning made very dismal and miserable viewing. Not least because Suella Braverman didn't seem to know about the riot, the killing of refugees in Rwanda in 2018, but also because Laura Knuessberg failed to give the details accurately. She had only a cursory knowledge of the use of live weapons against refugees, against unarmed refugees. She talked about an incident when 12 people were killed in 2018 on the 22nd of February. In fact, 8 people were killed at the scene and others died from their injuries afterwards. They were assembled to protest at the United Nations because their rations had been dramatically reduced. Their food rations had been dramatically reduced. And they were accused of participating in an illegal demonstration. Later on, the Rwandan government claimed that they had held people hostage. Well, it's already stated they had no weapons. At the time, tear gas was fired into the crowd. Requests were issued for the men to be separated from the women and children. And it was quite clear that the men who remained would be attacked. But no warning was given before live rounds were used. On March the 13th, the authorities tried to arrest refugees. They said the refugees had organized a revolt again. There were no weapons. Even 5 years later, there's no evidence of any weapons. 60 refugees were arrested for participating in the illegal demonstrations. And there was a further shooting on May the 1st, and a 12-year-old boy died on the scene. The evidence used against the 60 refugees participating in illegal demonstrations included the evidence of sending messages about their inhumane treatment to the Human Rights Watch. And yet, number one, Suella Braverman had not mastered her brief, hadn't done her homework, didn't know anything about these revolts or these attacks. And secondly, Laura Knuessberg hadn't bothered to do her research properly either. So in both cases, a complete failure. And I don't think the Kziba refugee camp story gives any support to Suella Braverman's claims that there is nothing wrong with the Rwandan treatment of refugees. There is. Not only is there evidence of refugees being shot by the Rwandan government, of a sort of gung-ho Western style, I'm thinking cowboy style justice, but there doesn't seem to be a follow-up and a proper investigation and proper accountability. And yet, we are planning to offload our moral responsibility to Rwanda. And I don't think due diligence has been done by the Home Office. If the Home Office minister doesn't even know of this story, and if the Conservative stooge who is interviewing her hasn't even bothered to get all the details together to challenge her, how on earth can we stand up with moral dignity and say we are doing the right thing here? We cannot. Now, I, for one, would like to celebrate the recovery of Rwanda from its civil war, I would like to be able to say Rwanda is a wonderful country. Certainly what I've seen looks very positive. But what I hear and what I read about its human rights record and about its contempt for proper procedure doesn't commend itself to the British government to be the right place to send vulnerable individuals. It just seems a knee-jerk response by the British government to send these people to whoever will possibly take them. And the fact that Rwanda is already accommodating 100,000 refugees does not mean that they're doing it well. Suella Braverman is plucking ideas out of a hat here. She's not bothering to do her research. In that, of course, she's following the example of the person who's interviewing her. Both of them are failing, and we are expected to take this seriously. People are dying. People are dying, and we will be held responsible because we haven't done due diligence, because we haven't taken this matter seriously. I think we should.